Welcome to r/entitled people, where we share stories from your lives about people who think the rules don't apply to them, and they should get what they want. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel, and for so many likes. And today we have 3 great stories, so subscribe, hit the like button, and let's begin. The first story, The Table from Hell, the last straw that made me quit. The second story, Defying corporate dictates, the battle of the beard. The third story, Defying servitude, battling the unjust employment contract. The first story is The Table That Made Me Quit. Bit of background. I worked at a TGI Chili Bees that has a special salad buffet. Also, if you sit directly at the bar, you get $5 apps during happy hour, and the last hour before close. So I'm blessed with the privilege of closing this night. I have a section that is all 4-seater booths. I have 3 tables at the moment when I'm told I'm getting a 17 top, in my booths, which usually isn't a thing. We put parties over 4 and tables pushed together, but some of the group apparently had a fit, and were told they could have 5 booths between them. 2 in my section and 3 in the closed section that mirrors my section. By this point, one of my 3 tables is left, but I haven't busted yet because I'm busy setting up the closed section booths for this party. All of a sudden, I get flooded with all these people sitting themselves in whatever booths they want, including the still dirty booth that was just vacated. Sure, there's only glasses, a little trash and crumbs, but it's still obviously dirty. Before I even know what's going on, this huge woman sitting at the dirty booth starts flailing her sagging ham arms and says to me, "Hey, this table needs wiped, it's nasty." And as I start taking the cups and trash, apologizing even though these a-holes weren't sitting in the 5 booths they were given, but 7 booths wherever, and literally roaming all over the place, I notice who I assume was one of the behemoth woman's children glaring at me. I say child, but she was probably 16 or so. I smile and ask if I can get them started on a drink. The child points at the margarita on the front of the drink menu. I ask for ID. The child gets huffy and says, rather shouts at me, "Just make it with no alcohol." I forewarn her that it's not going to be a good drink, and ask if she'd rather have a soda or lemonade. She ignores me and tells her other sibling at the table to order a certain pink alcohol drink. This kid was younger than her. I didn't even argue. I just brought her a pink lemonade instead. I put in the large fancy cocktail glass though. Sure enough, big sister hates her marg mix and tells me she wants what her sister has, but with pineapple juice and fruit in it. This makes every kid in the party start asking for bar fruit. After what seemed like eons, I finally got through all 17 people. But before I could make it to the kitchen to start the drinks, a man yells at me, "Where's the free bread at? We're hungry." Which causes a chain reaction of people shouting to me that they're hungry, and for me to bring out the free bread appetizer. One of my other tables that was there before them and waiting for their dinner stopped me on the way to the kitchen, and asked me to have their food boxed up. They aren't sticking around. At least they tipped well. So after I get the first round of drinks out and plenty of bread, I try to start taking the order. But oh no, within seconds of my sitting down the drinks, half are sucked dry. And when a few asked me if refills were free, I was so tempted to tell them no. So I brought light ice refills for all when another huge woman, I'll call her Big Mama because she had 5 screaming kids and was almost as big as a behemoth, stops me to ask me how much for our vodka and strawberry lemonade concoction. I tell her she orders one. I bring it out. She sucks down half in one motion, then says to me, "You bring me the wrong drink. This is the regular strawberry lemonade." It wasn't. I watched the bartender make it. She decides to change it to a blue motorcycle. Meanwhile, someone spots the $5 apps only at the bar sign and proceeds to tell me they want that. I tell them it's only applicable at the bar. They tell me the restaurant in next town Overville lets them order the $5 apps anywhere. They demand a manager. Manager actually stands her ground for the first time in her life. Table is peeved. Big Mama bees about her blue motorcycle. Manager comps all her drinks. Lame. Manager then calls restaurant in next town Overville and asks if they really are giving people the special bar deal, not at the bar. They say no. It's a struggle, but I finally get food orders in. Big Mama is first to pipe up that her fish dish tastes rotten, and I need to bring her a menu right now. She decides on the steak and lobster tail dish. Well done. Bees that it's taking too long. Once it comes out, she asks me, "Is this all I get?" Because the lobster tail and steak are small. What the F did she expect for $20? She eats a bit, then tells me to send a manager over. As manager is at Big Mama's table, another 2 women call me over to complain that their wings aren't cooked hard enough and to do them again. Then Behemoth tells me she decided she doesn't want her salad bar buffet add-on, even though she's had 2 plates of it, but that her daughters are going to split it in addition to only one of them ordering food. So she expected 3 people to share a buffet side that cost $3 to add it to one person's meal. I went to my manager who told me to charge the $4 kids salad bar for the daughters, even though they're both over the kids menu age limit. Also, manager told me Big Mama was going from the steak and lobster to a full rack of ribs. Mind you, she was comped the fish dish she ate part of. The steak and lobster she ate most of, and now she's getting ribs. Fast forward through endless refills, bread demands, me sobbing uncontrollably in the cooler for 2 minutes, more complaints about how this or that tastes nasty or is cold when it isn't, and it's bill time. I swear they made it a game. Some people would claim they were on someone else's ticket, and when I got to that someone else, it became, heck no, I ain't paying for her. But eventually I got everyone paid for. 2 of the couples left me $2. Big Mama left me $3 and a thank you baby after getting 2 drinks and her meals free. She only paid for 4 of her 5 kids' meals. The others left nothing. When I was bussing down glasses after everyone was trickling out, Behemoth's older daughter walks past me and says to her sister, "I hope Mama ain't tipped that white bee." WTF, F you trash, I'm not even white. Factoring in tip out, that table caused me to pay to serve them. That night literally could not get any other tables while they were there. No one wanted to sit near them because they were so loud and the kids were so rambunctious. I put my 2 weeks in that night. That was the worst table there, but the clientele was for the most part pretty terrible. I have since found better, and people wonder why that restaurant is dying. The second story is, company owner has withheld by raise until I shave my beard off. I work for a small business, 3 employees plus the owner. Most of my job is traveling to clients' offices to service and repair equipment. I'm the only service technician, and this service accounts for 45% of our yearly revenue. This is gross profit minus my salary since we hold the liability for the equipment, and I've rarely had a piece down requiring parts. I had my review a few months ago, and the owner told me they've received 3 complaints on my beard. I've been growing it for nearly 4 years. I agreed to start having barbershop appointments to keep it tidy, but I wouldn't be losing any length. My pay raise was held for 2 months. 2 months pass and I'm called back into their office. They recognize that it looks cleaner, but they need the length gone. They reached out to someone they know, a multi-billion-dollar corporation with thousands of employees, and I heard their beard policy is no more than 2 inches, so that policy is being adopted at our 4-employee small business. Raise is held up until mid-December for me to comply. I'm the longest-lasting employee at 9 years, while our average turnover is 2 years. This is not a complaint about my work ethic, or me calling out or having a bad smell. This complaint is about how I look. I really didn't expect this to be the hill that I die on, but I'm not going to shave my beard. I have an interview next week for a local government position. Good luck keeping that equipment operational when nobody else knows how to operate a screwdriver. Update. After reading through the comments, there are a few things I should clear up. I did sign a non-compete agreement. 1 year from the data removal. It also prohibits me from working for any entity that does business with the company within 50 miles of our office location. That's all my city. An employment attorney I've spoken with has said the 50-mile radius is too broad and will likely not hold up if challenged in court. I doubt the owner will bring me to court if I end up employed at an entity that has our service contract, but if they do, I'm ready to fight that in court. I will not start a repair business and poach any clients. I'm okay with the company going through rough times after equipment starts going down, and them not having any technician to fix it. This will only cost them money to purchase new equipment and swap it out. Considerable money. Perhaps at that point I'm asked to come in as an independent contractor to repair the equipment on my day off, at a considerably higher rate than I was previously paid. There are no beard laws in my state minus religious exemption. I've considered picking up the Quran to start the fight, but I feel like watching the business burn would be more enjoyable than lying to myself. Metaphorically burn, of course. Update 2. I received an offer letter yesterday for the government job. I had the interview a couple weeks ago and a follow-up meet the team last week. During that interview, I asked about their beard policy and I was told they don't believe they have one. They also said if someone from the top presented it as an issue, they'd take care of their team. That statement gave me goosebumps. Yesterday, I received a voicemail and email from HR, and an against policy text from my new supervisor welcoming me to the team. The vibe here seems so much different than what I've had for the last 9 years. I signed the offer letter this morning and sent it in a few minutes ago. Now I'm working on my resignation letter. I love the top comment thread from my previous post of my beard and I will be taking our talents elsewhere, but I feel my snarkiness will come out more properly in the eventual conversation I have with my soon-to-be ex-boss. Update 3. I let them know I'm leaving. Today was company picture day for Christmas cards going out. I was the only person that wasn't wearing the agreed-upon outfit. Think anyone caught the hint? We had a staff meeting to update everyone on project details before a conference call, and my boss told me how proud they were of my work and my communication with the team. We talked through project details and had the conference call. Questions were thrown our way and I took the lead on responding. After the meeting, my boss provided some good jobs and reiterated how proud they were. I was asked to go home to change and they would be heading out for a bit. I grabbed my letter of resignation from my desk, walked into their office, closed the door, and dropped the news. There's not any easy way to do this, but I found a new position and I'll be leaving the company. I'm ready for a change. Very quickly, they responded with okay, and that they would need time to process. I asked if they still wanted me to go home and change. They said they'd let me know, then left for the errand. I was asked back into the office when they returned, and was asked if my decision was final, or if they could do something to keep me. My decision is final. They asked if I'd be willing to sign a contract for my services, and if that could work with my new career's schedule. I said it would unlikely work. I may be available some weekends, but all of our clients are only open weekdays. I also let them know I wasn't trying to hurt anybody, but I needed to get out of here. They didn't get the impression I was doing that, but that I'm a unicorn and will be hard to replace. I agreed. They asked me if they thought one of our new employees could handle it, and I flatly said no. I left for the day, legitimately not feeling well due to COVID booster, yay, and was asked to perform some work-from-home activities. I politely declined. The 23rd is my last day and onboarding for my new career is Monday. I've never been more excited. You all have been so helpful in this and I'm infinitely grateful. Make the change, you can do it too. The third story is, SH employer tried to turn me into an indentured servant. Some years back I was working for a small boutique IT shop with horrible managers. I was told I'd be attending an out-of-town software conference for the software they sold and configured. Cool. I'm excited to learn more about the product and gain more competencies in it. It's a niche product sold only by a small group of value-added reseller, so of little to no value if I'm not working for them. The bosses went to the conference a couple of days before I did, for the business management portions. Just before the close of business on the night I'm supposed to be driving down to the conference, about 90 minutes away. My bags are packed and in the car. I get an email with a training and education policy. I am told I'm required to sign this in order to attend. So I read this document. The gist of it is that in order to attend, I have to agree to reimburse them fully for the cost of this education if my employment terminates for any reason in the next year. Might have been 2, actually. My memory is a bit fuzzy after all this time. This includes travel costs, hotel, meals, and the not insubstantial cost of the conference itself. The figure given was something around 25% of my gross annual salary. I was stunned. I mean, this would basically turn me into an indentured servant of the business, if they fired me. I'd have to pay them for the privilege. What they didn't expect was that after reading it, I simply replied to the email stating that I would not sign this, and if those were the conditions of my attendance, I would not be attending. It didn't take long for the panicked phone call from my boss to come in, particularly since they had to prepay the hotel and conference fees. I was asked to come down and discuss the matter. Short of it, I never did sign the policy but attended the conference. A bit under a year later, when I left due to ridiculous salaried overtime expectations, one of the owners tried to tell me I owe them all that money. I pointed out that I never signed that policy, but if she believed I had, she could show me a copy of the signed document. Unsurprisingly, she was unable to find a signed copy. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.